here with nobody in here, and we've been scheduled all day. The reason is because we can't ever figure out these lives. These lives are pretty tough sometimes, and it's user error. We're not great at the lives, but we do want to hang out with you, so we tried anyway. But anyway, we had another live stream. It totally got stuck horizontal instead of vertically, which we're not set up for horizontal, and it does that if you don't do it within a split second. It totally gets you pretty hard on that. So if you guys were on the last one, we told you to come to the new one. If anybody's here, let us know that it's working. Thanks, looks like we got one.
Hi, Billy Goat.
You were the first, Billy Goat. You figured it out. Oh, we got some more coming. All right, thank you guys for showing up and hanging out. We'll let...
Check, booger check. Do we got any boogers?
Booger. Beard's kind of wild. It's a little monsoony, having a bad beard day here. But yeah, we're going to let some of you guys catch up. Thanks for dealing with our live shenanigans that we can never figure out. But we're excited to do a little beer with Rhett Gear. I think I'm the only one that drinks beer in Rhett Gear, but that's all right.
I've got a little something.
Oh, a little girly frilly. Nice, nice.
It's like kind of wine.
Colby looks so small in here.
I can't tell if it's wine or beer.
It's bine.
It's fermented.
Nice. All right, you gotta be on the
Okay,
comments.
okay.
I can't. If I try to read it from there, I'm
Yeah,
like,
don't
"Hey,
do
guys."
that. All right,
Whoa.
so we got Billy Goat, like we said. He said better, so we're doing that. Good.
Thank you.
Scooby North said, "Hey, I made a live video for the first time. I hope you did better than we did."
You gotta be better than us at lives, man.
Michael Kirkwood was the one that said teeth check, burger check, camera angle good. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, I'm looking over here because our laptop's over here, so that's where I'm reading the comments. So sorry if I'm not looking at
She
you.
is on comment duty. I like that.
Colorado Adventure Club said much better. Yay. Grant said working. Pat Holland, yes, it's working. Michael Kirkwood said ha 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 because we did the booger check.
Dude, we're good. No bats in the cave. We're good.
Clean, working.
Look at you.
Michael Kirkwood says
Always
howdy
good.
howdy.
I'm already a booger though.
Yeah, yeah. We're
Ammo
doing
Dog
booger.
says hi Colby.
Hi,
What's
Ammo. What's up?
Hey guys, if you guys want to show some support, I just watched Ammo Dog's video. He is trying out for the Flex Rocks and Rollovers 24-hour hell and back. And, you know, if there's anyone who deserves it, I think he is one of them. That dude does have a heart of gold. He literally eats, sleeps, and breathes off-road. And I would love to see him out there. So
Yes.
if you guys can comment over there on the old Flex Rocks and Rollovers channel and give some Ammo Dog love and support,
Send
it'd be
some
great.
votes.
It'd be greatly appreciated. You know, he's a good friend of ours, and you know, he's just a really good dude.
So so
And I like people who get on the show that actually want to wheel, that like eat, breathe, and sleep that stuff, man. 'Cause that's what we do. We don't know anything but wheeling. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's really fun.
okay, so Andy Turner says cheers. Jason Medor says hello all.
What's up, Havasu?
Brett
Woo.
says hey Rex Gear.
What's up, Brett?
Jason Medor says we're cooking in Havasu.
Ah, you better not be doing street tacos without me.
Oh,
Jimmy
yeah.
Johnson, that dude knows how to make some.
We haven't had dinner yet. He just made me hungry.
Dang it, Jason.
All right. Michigan Off-Road Customs. What's up, buddy? Thanks for coming back.
Yeah,
He
man.
says, howdy,
Good to see
howdy, been staying rowdy.
Dude, you saw that highlight reel. Can you believe that? What was it? 58 rollovers we've been near and around. And that's just what we filmed, which is probably,
More that we didn't.
yeah, I would say only half of what we've been involved with, which is crazy.
I'm pretty surprised because I didn't think it was that many. Because I feel like I'll watch like a bunch of shorts on YouTube or something and there'd be like a ton of rollovers. I'm like, man, we don't get that many rollovers. And then I watched that and I was like, oh my god, maybe we do.
Thanks for the love, Ammo Dog. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, where are we at? Billy Goat Adventure says you're putting on some good crawls.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Brett says, yeah, Ammo Dog, good luck. I agree. Good luck. Chee-hoo. Good luck, Ammo Dog. Let's go, Ammo Dog. Enjoying Arizona today in Williams. That's not far from us.
What's crazy is the company I work for has a family event at Arizona tomorrow.
Wait, what?
Dude, we're wheeling. Don't even act surprised that I didn't tell you.
What?
Surprised you didn't tell us.
Don't even act surprised. We're wheeling.
He'll take us to Arizona later.
We've been
Yeah.
before. It's awesome.
It is awesome.
Don't let me discount it. I'm stoked that you're there. Like, there's no better way to view animals than in the AC of your car. And you never know, you can get some like sweet wolf scratches or some bison dents along the way. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Goat Adventure says, good luck, dog. Jay says, cooking as in too hot to work on a rig at all, even at night.
Ooh.
Havasu is the human barbecuer in the summer. You were right.
Yeah.
I would not. Yeah, I just sit in the lake, bud. That's all I do. Anyway, so as you guys keep rolling in and you know, we're doing our little greets and stuff like that, we super appreciate it. We super appreciate you guys stopped in. Obviously we got there was some other stuff I want to list on there, but I didn't get it in there. But we definitely want to talk, and I'll probably say this again, I'm just kind of giving you what we're going to be talking about. And as more people get in, we'll probably start going down that list. But, you know, the number one thing is when I got into wheeling, like, I didn't understand why some trails weren't spoken about and some trails were. And, you know, I took offense as to why some of the trails that, you know, people wouldn't tell me where they were. And I've kind of gone full circle and I understand both sides of it. And now that I know why and I know all the reasoning, I'd love to share with you guys so that way if you're ever in that spot where you're like, they never tell us. I mean, we're guilty of it. You never, you know, a lot of the Arizona stuff, I don't tell you trail name, where it's at, or anything like that. You know what I mean? The ones I can, I do, and I'm getting really good at that. I'm going to make up for some lost time. We definitely, you know, we partnered up with Onyx. I was like, man, I'd love to have a map system that I could share. And they're like, guess what? We have that. I was like, dude, that's going to work out. So hopefully that's going to help you guys get to some of the places we go. And we're going to really, it's going to be exciting to see what we can like add in there. You know, maybe, I don't know, got some surprises that might happen there. Let me know if that's cheesy. I don't ever like use maps or anything like that. I just figured it was a really good tool for me to actually drop a link that you can go do exactly what we did. So if that's dumb, let me know. If it's not dumb and you like it, let me know. Trying stuff out here. I don't know if it's good. I would like to know where trails are.
Do you want to know where trails are?
Yeah. Especially Sheep's Crossing. That's my favorite.
That was a cool trail. How did you guys like that adventure video, by the way? Is that something you want to see? It's part of our off-road lifestyle.
Yeah, it's like that was a question we asked that we'd love to hear your opinion, but unfortunately we're not going to change. Like that's one thing you're going to get with us is like we're wheelers and we try to help the community. We try to do the best we can to bring you guys along, but we're not going to change who we are, what we do, because I feel like we're about as grassroots as it gets, and wheeling's number one in our lives. So I don't want to change that. You know, I don't want to change who I am for content. I know there's a lot of creators out there that do that, and they chase the algorithm, and we are algorithmically dumb because we don't care. You know, we want to put out a channel for people who like to watch our content. I'm always going to be pushing for better content and giving better value and trying to help anybody off road, but I'm not gonna try to put on like a big old algorithm show.
All right, let's see. So Andy Turner says the videos of the Extendo buggy are sick.
Dude,
that thing is so cool.
Stay tuned. So that guy's he's a wheat farmer in Nebraska, and he works half the year. And the other half of the year he travels and he wheels all over the place. But we've definitely talked and we want to go get on some trails. So we plan on doing that. And you know, it's an awesome opportunity because I love Alec. He's an innovator. He's been a massive innovator for off road. A lot of people love him. A lot of people hate him. You know, and usually the people that don't like him are the ones who aren't trying to push the limits, because the whole idea of pushing limits, I'm not trying to get on a rant here, but I definitely want to explain some stuff, is like, you know, rear steer 20 years ago was super taboo, and now it's normal. Like when I got into rear steer, it was like, oh, rear steer cheater, you know. Now it's, I would say there's so many more rear steers coming in. Now there's portals, and now there's people who are adjusting their shocks on a switch, you know what I mean? Jesse Haynes, he's got, I don't know quite the system, I haven't dove into it. Hopefully we'll get him on here soon, but he's able to change those. So they've got a lot of the functions he does. They just don't have the extending frame or as dramatic, like being able to tilt and stuff as dramatically as he does. But he's an innovator. I mean, this guy's been doing this for years, and people are just taking a long time catching up. And it's not, you know, getting to the top is not cheating. It's just getting to the top.
It's only at the top.
But we will hopefully have some more of that content. I can't wait till he comes back out, and we're going to rip it up.
Michael Kirkwood says, can we talk about finding 40s? Why is it so dang hard?
So I'm going to tell you right now, BFG 39 Reds they're not in production for the next year. So, and
it is what it is.
It is what it is. That's just what I've heard. I've heard from very sourceable people and a lot of people in the off-road community that at this time they've just got a lot of other projects and tires that they're working on, and BFG has they're a custom built tire. They're hand fitted. They're not injected molded. So everyone comes out of the race shop, and it takes 2 or 3 people that work on a tire to make that tire work the way it does and get that compound and the chemical equation that tire has. It's pretty labor intensive. So if you can find used 40s, if you can find any new sets that have been sitting in someone's garage, eat them up, because those 39s are going to be real tough for the next year. So there's your pro tip for next year. And mind you, I have no idea what I'm doing. So this is just advice that you can take or not take. But
Brett says you guys give trail location the best way I've ever heard between Canada and Mexico.
so we're going to explain that now. Hopefully you're on that side, which I totally agree. We got to keep it as general as possible, and I'm gonna try to do a good explanation. And I feel, and I'm talking to you about this because I feel that a lot of times those locations are disclosed and a lot of people don't understand, and then that makes them irritated and wants them to find them differently. And I want to explain it, and if they can have the knowledge as to why and understand, I think that they'll appreciate it more, and they'll go through the system that we all go through. And it's not very hard. If you want to wheel, you're going to get there. But I'm going to explain that once we get through a couple more of these comments.
We have a lot of comments to catch up on.
I'll do it.
Yeah. So let me try to get through them real quick.
All right, we're going to go really fast, Bronson. I just get it, too. I love wheeling. I get into it, man. This is all I love.
Okay, so Colorado Adventure Club says, it's a catch-22, isn't it? People can ruin a good thing quick, but the other hand, you really want to show some people how cool they are.
Yep.
Michigan Off-Road Custom says, rig is down for 3 weeks or so. No!
No place like the middle of summer, heat wave.
He sent the ORAs in for a rebuild, and to get all the fancy updates, it's going to be worth the wait for sure.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I need to get mine in.
Brett says, yes, way more of those videos. Loved it. I'm assuming about the Sheep's Crossing stuff.
Awesome. We'd like to mix it in. We don't just hardcore wheel, and there's a reason for that. We started wheeling in Jeeps. You know what I mean? I started in a stock Jeep. You know, I had Jimmy's 4x4 up in Colorado. My grandparents were there. I bought my grandpa's 95 YJ, 4-banger, and I had Randy with Jimmy's off-road before he was really big in Ultra 4. He put a 2.5-inch lift. Man, I was killing it when I was 16, but that's how it started. And I've loved every phase up there, and exploring and checking out cool stuff and taking on challenges in a smaller rig is just as fun.
Yeah.
So it's just part of who we are, and it's gonna happen. I'm glad you like it, and there's gonna be more of it.
I'm pretty sure we're just obsessed with all four-wheel drive.
But we're gonna do
Yes.
it different, man, because we are so in ground of rock crawling that, like, you know, we always say we're like the worst overlanders ever. Like, we're not really overlanding. we overland like rock crawling. We're like, we have a tent to sleep in. Major upgrade.
We have a tent
Yeah.
and a cooler full of beer.
We got a cooler full of beer,
Ready to
Lunchables.
chill.
We ain't making anything. We're scheduling where we're eating breakfast to get the full
And
experience while we're
lunch
traveling.
and
You know what I mean? We're not fancy. We're just there for the experience, and you know, more power to them. They like to cook and stuff like that, but I like to see stuff and I like to wheel. So we're
I
like,
like when other people cook for me on the trail. That's
Yeah,
happened a
that's-
couple times.
yeah, we get on that. But
That's pretty
we're gonna do a
alright.
different crawler-lander status.
What do
So
you think?
I don't
Good input.
know.
Okay, let's see, I'm lost here for a moment. Enjoy all the content from Mile to Wow. It's always fun to see how others get around, play hard and soft. Not every trip can be a 12 rated trail. Keep doing what makes you happy. You guys are killing it, just being yourselves. Thank you.
appreciate that.
Yes, more wrecked rides. Wayne Gang when he's done killing tires.
Hey, he just got back from Hawaii. He always takes 3 months. That's where he's from. That's where he started drifting. And he goes there and spends time with family for 3 months every year. So he just got back. He's got a couple more drift car races in Pro FD. If you don't follow him there, check him out. He is probably one of the most OG gangsters and drifters ever been. I mean, there's a handful of them, and he's one of them. He's the most stylish by far. So go give him a follow. Who knows, you know, who knows how much longer he's going to be drifting. So check that out. It's pretty cool.
How about a wrecked gear East Coast trip? Happy to show you around.
Dude,
Randy
we
Pruitt.
want to get to the East Coast so bad, but believe it or not, we still all 9 to 5 it. And we're grinding, and PTO is super tough. You know, I gotta be working. Without work, none of this is possible. So
For
everything's.
now. We're
Yeah.
hoping. Maybe in a couple years.
Check out our merch. That's gonna help. It'll help us get there. It'll help give us more PTO or more funds to get across country. But we're dying to go. I mean, we see stuff on the East Coast. I'm just like, dude, it's such a different spectrum, and I can't wait to test my skills out there.
Yeah, I
It's
really
very
want to
exciting.
see how our very West Coast rock crawler build will do on that East Coast terrain, because I know it's like muddy, it's slick, it's rainy, you know. There's a lot of send it, which luckily we have an LS in our
Yeah.
buggy, so we have
We have
some horses
400.
to
We
play.
have 400 horses in a very light rig. So
But there's also giant gaping holes in our, you know, not our floorboards, but, you know, for visibility, there's giant holes.
that's what duct tape's for.
I've been worried about that the most. I'm like, there's just gonna be mud all over me if I'm in the rig.
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully in the future, thank you for your support, and we're gonna get there. Alright, let's see what else we got. Love the wheeling videos. I can't get out as much as I want, so I live vicariously through YouTube. We don't have the challenging trails in Montana, so it takes a commitment in time and money. Yes.
We have I don't know how I'm geologically smoked right now, but Totten Off Road's up in
Wyoming?
right now, so that's close. I think it's pretty close, but
I have no idea.
if it's pretty close, you hit him up. He's traveling up in that north area, and he's super fun to wheel with, man. The family's super legit, and that dude likes to party. Like, he came out and he messed around with us, and I have no problem wheeling him anytime. That dude can wheel.
Jay says, what days are you planning for Trail Hero?
I think I'm gonna get there Monday evening, and then we're gonna leave the following Sunday afternoon. So
Sounds good to me.
we'll be camped there. Not sure if we're gonna do a sub run. If we do, it's got to be light. We did a hammer sub run.
We'll for sure do a meet and greet at the very least.
Yeah, we'll do a meet and greet. We might do a sub run, but you know, at the hammers we had like 60, 70 rigs show up, and
that was crazy.
we went like 100 yards, and we had to like call it. It was just so many people. It was chaos.
Yeah.
So
We don't want to waste anybody's time.
yeah. So but we'll do some cool stuff.
do
We're figuring out.
something.
We're talking with Cody with Laser Nut. He usually does some pretty cool stuff there, so we might like do an event on the beach.
We'll try to keep you guys posted, like on our Instagram before and during the event. So if you don't catch us for something on one day, like you're not getting there till later or whatever, we'll try to keep posted kind of where we're gonna be at if it's something that we can be available for you guys.
Yeah, we want to meet all you guys. That's a big thing. And when we get on the trail, I'm so worried about getting everybody through and managing and everything like that. I just don't want anyone to have a bad time. So I don't get to say hi or spend any time with anybody, and that's something I realized too. So a meet and greet would be cool.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll get out and wheel in like maybe some multiple groups or something
We
like
are
that.
for sure gonna wheel.
Yeah,
I just want you to know that.
We're gonna wheel our pants off. I trust you.
I love Trail Hero is my favorite event.
I love the beach.
Yeah.
Yes. There's probably the temperatures usually pretty alright for Trail Hero, so maybe no swimming, but we'll see. It's been an interesting weather year. Alright, where am I at?
It's pretty hot. You'll probably get the itch.
I've already been through that. Not again, please.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions about the itch, she's had it before, so
She was
can
not
answer.
happy.
At
Yeah.
least you get a free T-shirt.
I don't know if they do that anymore. So you might not even get a free T-shirt anymore, but it's
Whoops.
pretty bad.
You get a free T-shirt if you're a child.
That's not fair.
Howdy
Alright, where
from
we at?
Florence Fox Canyon.
Hey, what's up?
I don't
That
think I've
is
done that.
one place. Yeah, seriously, we would like to take the JT to Box Canyon one of these times. So we'll hit us up on IG. We want to do that soon. And I actually want to go crawl Florence again. We used to crawl Florence when I was in the TJ. We've been a handful of times, and just for some reason we just haven't made it back. There's a lot of cool lines in Florence I haven't done. And also, tomorrow we are getting up at the butt crack of dawn, and we're heading up to Payson, Arizona, which is the part of one of the biggest ponderosa pine forests, yes, in Arizona. And there's a trail called Pyatt Draw, and I've always dreamt there's this obstacle called the Filter, and it's a super gnarly obstacle. When I was back in my TJ, I tried to get in there. It was too big, and I could never successfully get it. And I always went, the bypass is super freaking gnarly for a built 1-ton rig, and I've just always dreamt of doing the Filter, and we are going back tomorrow. It's been 4 years since we've been out there, and I'm going to go do the Filter. So I'm super pumped on that. It's just one of those bucket list things. I've done so much since then. It may be lackluster, but here, it's just one of those things. I was just like, I remember the last time I was there being like, one day I'm going to get that. I just can't wait until I get that, or, hopefully I get that.
Actually, the last time we were there is when we blew the piston skirt in our TJ.
Yeah. Last time we were on Pyatt, we blew the motor.
It was that we were on Turtle Creek when I heard the piston skirt.
We blew it,
Yeah.
like it cracked, like we lost oil pressure.
Yeah.
And I smoked my motor on the Filter go around, and then we went to another trail, and that's when the piston separated.
We literally heard it, like you said, separate, and then it just ting 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 ting.
Ting 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 ting, pan, pong.
We were like, I thought it was a rock at first. I was like, did a rock just shoot in our undercarriage? Because this was like 4 years ago.
I was like,
so.
no, do you hear that? Tick, 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 tick. I was like, that wasn't happening before. It was a pretty loud tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, it was rough.
But yeah, anyway, Florence, awesome. I just ran. I get so stoked hanging out with you guys. I love wheeling. I gotta be better on these lives. On
Do you guys have a beverage? We try to make our thumbnails have a beer with Rec Gear, which I thought was cool that rhymed, because that's neat, and things that rhyme are neat.
Again, analytically, YouTube's probably gonna poo-poo the what out of this, but every once in a while you just gotta have a beer with your friends. We're here.
Yeah.
We're here for you. So.
Somebody once said that hanging out with us on a live was like sitting around a campfire. I forget who said it, but I was like, that is neat. It does feel like that.
That's how I want it. I like hanging out with you guys. And I like campfires, and I like BSing about off-roading. It's super cool.
Oh, So I do want to let you guys know, so everything on our website was pre-order initially. We got a lot of the stuff in. We just got shirts in. So I'm getting those all situationalized and then packing orders and shipping them out. So we should have stuff shipping on Monday and Tuesday. So if you got a shirt, it's coming. I swear. We're still waiting on the Sacket bags.
They should be here
They're pretty
very soon.
Yeah.
We've been talking with them. They got them coming. But I want to throw the biggest thank you. I mean,
Yeah.
we did merch so long ago, and it just, I prematurely did it, and I've just had a bad taste, and then I went way too long without doing it, and we've had so many people ask for it. And when we went and did it, we're trying to learn what's going on. Again, we wheel, man. We're not merch people. Like, we're gonna try because it's cool, but
Yeah.
and we want to put stuff out there for you guys, but we're not great at it. So we did that pre-order, and let me tell you, all you guys who pre-ordered, like, to help us get into this, to make it happen, I can't thank you guys enough. And there's a couple hat orders that went out early because we got hats early.
Yeah.
They know what's coming, but we sent something that is it's literally it's the coolest limited production piece that we threw in there as a big
It was a little
thank
thank you, yeah.
And they turned out awesome, and that's just a thank you for you guys putting yourselves out there and really supporting us and getting the ball rolling. And
Not only is it like limited one-time production, but I made it. That's
and it's a piece of my buggy, so it's pretty.
That's
wild.
too much. Give him no more.
Okay, I got
It was for our
Spoiler alert.
exclusively for our pre-orders as a thank you for being patient with us.
But we will have stuff listed here shortly. We want to make sure all of our pre-orders go out before we list everything else. But we do have a really big backstock. I full ponied it after that. I am now broke, so so that way you guys can jump on. You don't have to wait. And again, thank you for everyone who did.
Yes.
Put in the love for us to get this rolling. It's pretty cool.
So that's your update for currently.
All right, how many people we got on here? 34. Okay, all right, you guys ready to talk about the whole topic as to why this is? Like, obviously we want to talk about the merch update. We got a couple other updates, but like the main reason of this live is for the whole I want to explain why some trails are so hush, like they're just hush hush under the table, and there's a lot of good reasons you guys might not know, because I kind of was one of those guys who was like, dude, I want to do this, why won't anyone tell me? It's driving me nuts. I feel like I'm good enough. I feel like I should be there. I want to jump to it. And people were just like, nah. And honestly, having a YouTube channel, it was so much harder for me to get into some of these trails because everyone was afraid I was going to blow these trails out. And I was very lucky that I got the understanding, and it makes sense to me. Like, it does, and I hope when I explain it to you, it's going to make sense to you. And the odds are everybody on here probably understands, but I do get so many comments as to, where's this trail? Why are you hiding him? I'd say that's one of the number one comments that I get. That is, where is this trail? Why won't you tell me? And we say, oh, it's on the border of Canada and Mexico. It is. It's a really thick border between Canada and Mexico. And let me get started as to why some of these trails are not readily available for you just to jump in. First of all, the trails that are not talked about are at a level that you need to earn. Like, I know that sounds, and I know there's people out there like, well, I've earned it. Well, I thought so too. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that I actually had to go back and run all the trails. So here's my advice. Well, I'll get into it, then I'll give you my advice. So a lot of these trails, the ones who made these newer epic trails, these trails are extremely harsh. And if you watch some of the California videos when I was out with Cody and Jeremy and Craig, when we were out on like freshly cut trails and some sections that were brand new, I rolled my buggy due to I had a sick line. It was good, but I went on. I was like, I'm gonna put my tire on this rock. I'm gonna cut across. It's easy. The easiest line that I took that day. I went up, and the rock that I put my tire on, which was a boulder. I mean, it was a massive boulder, but it rolled out from underneath me, which threw me and flopped me on my lid. And that's just one section of a new trail. To break a full good trail, your buggy and your time and commitment to make that trail, your rig gets so taxed, and you get so taxed to make it happen. And there's so many trails out there that get disrespected. You guys see that. We're cleaning these trails, and whether it's from, you know, roads that get washed down, to where it's just that one freaking idiot that screws it up for all of us. The people who put in 3 weeks worth of wheeling to open up a trail and to get in there, that's their blood, sweat, and tears. And if they go out there and let's say there's a lot of people who ask me where the trails are people on a Cherokee, on 33s, open, 30 front. I don't know if you've seen our videos. They should not. And if you have that, I'm not trying to be a jerk, and I want to relay that to you. You should not be there, because if something happened, you don't have the resources or the friends or the buggies to get you out of there. And if you did have the resources and the friends and the buggies to get you out of there, you'd know where it's at. And if you leave a buggy there, then they're going to say that you're an irresponsible wheeler, and now you've trashed a trail with a rig that's not there, and maybe we should take that trail away from you. And that's the problem. All of the people that we wheel with and all the people that showed me the trails, we all have super capable buggies that are at that level, and the person who built it, he lets a couple people know, and then, you know, he wheels with a couple people. He's like, okay, these guys are very good stewardess of the trail, and I trust them to come out here, wheel it, and take care of it so we can keep it. And then those people are under the same understanding that they tell someone that they have to know that the next person will. And if you have a Cherokee on 33s, which we are obsessed with Cherokees, we love them. They're the most underrated, awesome off-roaders ever. But seriously, they don't have business on dropping a 15-foot waterfall. Like, that is literally asking to total your rig. We don't want you there because we don't want you to ruin the trail, or we don't want you there for us because we don't want you to ruin the trail for us, and then we don't want you to literally trash and ruin your rig, because both of those are mega concerns. So that's kind of where it's at. But on the hindsight, here's the advice on that. So that's the protect the trail, keep it clean, keep it open. And the hindsight that you don't know, that no one tells you, is you're like, man, they're not telling me, it sucks. The reality of it is, if you're out wheeling all the good trails that are known, you're going to run into plenty of wheelers along the way. Let's say you didn't know any wheelers and you just want to get into this. You're going to run into, if you're going to go to the maps and find all the ones that are on the maps that have been around forever, if you go wheel those all the time, you're going to run into the right people who are going to show you, like, that are going to go wheel with you and be like, yeah, okay, you want to wheel, let's go wheel. Then they're going to see how you wheel. And then if you're like, oh yeah, you love wheeling, you love to take care of wheeling, you're a very responsible, awesome stewardess of off-roading, we're going to take you to this trail. Oh, you did good there, we're going to take you to this trail. And we have a YouTube channel which we could blow out all the trails we wanted to if we were irresponsible.
If we wanted to.
Yeah, like if we wanted to be like, oh, here's all the trails, but then that would ruin it for all of us. It would ruin it for you, who doesn't know it yet, because it'd be closed before you probably got there. But it would ruin it all, and it was super hard because everyone's like, well, you're going to be on YouTube, you're going to tell the trails. Well, I've kept it a secret for a reason, and that's to protect it. But if you go out and you wheel trails and you love wheeling, why wouldn't you hit all the trails you can before finding a new one? Like, if you haven't hit all the other trails yet, you shouldn't be looking for the top level trails. And if you have wheeled all the other trails, you will know all the people to show you all the right trails, and they were more than happy to. You just have to go out and want to wheel. Like, you have to love wheeling. someone who buys their first vehicle, their first off-road vehicle, if they want to go and hit a mega trail, like let's say the ones in Johnston Valleys I can't talk about because they are open and we put them on there. We were asked to put those on there by the people who created them, and to kind of make Johnston Valley to flare up some new interest because there is so much out there. So if we were to, kind of lost where I was going there. So if we were to put out that trail, okay, so you guys saw it, that's where I was at. So you guys saw those trails. Now let's say someone who just bought a barely modified Cherokee and was like, I want to go to the hardest trail in Johnson Valley, the ones that we did. Imagine those guys trying to go do that and how screwed they would get. And would they be able to get off the trail? Would they be able to do anything? Johnson Valley's okay because there's so much community there and there's always people there to help you. Where a lot of the trails that we run here locally, they're so spread out that if you got in a pickle, you could be in danger because no one knows where you're at. Everything's so distant in our local trails that like there's not a lot of people that hang around or know where the trails are. So if you want to know where those trails are, I've got the best news ever. Go wheel and tackle the trails that you know, and by the time you've gotten all those, I would say by the time you got through half of those, you're going to know the right people that'll take you out there, and they're going to show you where they're at. It's just one of those things that it shouldn't be blasted out there because the wrong people get on the trail. And if you don't understand that, then you're probably that person that shouldn't be on that trail. That was a super long rant. Please tell me if any of that makes sense. And if you have questions, I want to answer. I just really want people to understand why there's a secrecy on some trails. And I do believe that people who open the trails, the clubs that open the trails, do have a right because they put all the work in there. Like if they put in the work, they should have the right to protect it. And if you didn't put any work in, you shouldn't have the right to destroy it. But if you want to wheel, those guys are more than happy to show you where they're at when you get to that level. And you should. If you miss everything in between, you're literally...
When they say you gotta pay to play.
You gotta pay to play, and then if you miss everything in between, you're cheating yourself. Like we say in between Canada and Mexico because it's half the fun.
Right on the border.
It's half the fun is you go out there and you wheel that border and you run into people, you meet great people, you meet your people, and then you go tackle these new challenges with the right people, and you're in the right group to experience that stuff. If you go out and experience it by yourself, you're just going to get yourself in trouble. I would get in trouble. You see all the wheeling we do. If I didn't go down that system, I wouldn't be wheeling now because I would have effed myself off a long time ago.
Somebody said it kind of how you had explained it earlier. I'm not sure if you said it in the live here. But, where is it? Where did it go? Oh yeah, Lester Smith said, same reason we hide fishing spots. People ruin good things just the way it is. That's exactly the same.
If you show the right people the fishing spot, you know they're going to take care of it. You know it's not going to get trashed. You know it's still going to be a good spot. But if someone goes and tells everybody that this spot has the best fish, and then every Joe Blow who doesn't know what they're doing shows up, they're going to trash it, fill it full of beer cans, fill it full of trash, fish it all out, and then you're not going to have your spot. So it makes sense. But if you fish a lot, you're a good, like I said, stewardess of the trail, like a stewardess off-roader. People are more than happy to take you to go have an experience.
I feel like we gatekeep swimming holes too. You don't want to give away your good swimming hole.
Yeah, because then you're eventually going to show up and get cut feet from glass because some people suck. It's not you,
there.
But there has to be some sort of a filter to get the suckage out of the system. But if you don't suck, don't worry. People are more than happy to show you if you don't suck.
Hashtag don't suck.
Yeah. If you suck, you're in trouble. You're probably never going to find it. And there's your sign. But yeah, hopefully that explains it. And if you see trails that we can't tell you, hey man, there's a good reason. So
Nick Barnes says some of my best friends are people I've met on trails. Amen.
Literally, it would be cheating you guys to show you these trails because you wouldn't get the experiences or the relationships to get there. And that's probably my favorite part of wheeling too, is how to get to where you want to be is it's the journey, and the journey is the most important part. You know, you get to a 15-foot waterfall and roll off the top because you didn't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're done. Anyway, I'd love to see if you guys have any questions, or if you think that's stupid. If you think it's legit, did I explain it well? If there's any of you hardcore guys out there that are like, oh, dang it, Bronson, you're a little willy-nilly about this, you tell me. Like, I'd love to learn. I'm always ready to learn.
Pat Holland says, all true. Worst trail experiences when the Cherokee is in over their level. We feel responsible to get them off the trail and not leave them. 1,000%. Even if it doesn't even have to be a Cherokee, just an underbuilt rig, you know, versus all the rest of the rigs that you're with, you know.
That's
no matter if, as long as you're not wheeling with total a-holes, you know, like we're always gonna feel responsible for anybody that we bring out, you know.
It's the right thing to do as a wheeler, but that's
Wheeler's code.
Yeah, Wheeler's code. That's one of the things you always take care of people, and that's another question we get is like, oh, why can't we wheel with you guys? You guys are going. We already got like 4 or 5 people. That's on the upper end of our spectrum, and where we're going, we don't. You know what I mean? Like we don't think your rig is going to do well. Well, some people get offended, but you got to remember, every one of those people. So there's 5 people that were in a group, and I've had this happens to me all the time where I'm like, hey, I want to go wheel, and they're like, we got 4 people, man, we can't do it, and I understand. Mm-hmm. It's because all those 4 people spent the same money in fuel, the same money to load the rig up on the trailer, the same hard weekend to make sure all the maintenance was done on the rig. And when they get out there, if someone goes out there that didn't do the maintenance, didn't have the parts, and breaks in half in the middle of the trail, well, then all those 5 people ended up just spending all that money to recover you. And that sucks. It's
or you meet that one person that you're like, oh, this person vouched for them. And then they're like, I'm just going to send it. And they have no care, and they always break. Like, those people, it's just, it ruins it, you know? Like, I don't want to spend the night on the trail. Like, I got stuff to do.
I got chrome alloys in my 30, man. Like, I'm good. I'm going to send it. I'm not scared to send it. We're like, oh,
we were like, please be a little bit scared to send it.
Yeah, like, please. But you just gotta remember, like, a lot of people, you know, we all spend money to get into this. And if 5 people are there and someone does that, it's just, you gotta understand. Wheel with your group and advance.
Wheel respectably.
Advance into other groups, and everyone's accepting. Wheeler's Code's awesome. It sounds way more complicated than it is, but if you love to wheel and wheeler at heart, it plays out perfectly. We've never struggled to find a trail. We've never struggled to wheel with anybody. We've seen some stuff like where we're like, oh man, we'd like to be there, and we're like, oh, that's weird, but it's all for good reason. It's the best to protect it. And if you care about wheeling, you'll understand it.
Yeah.
And if you don't, ask more questions.
Yeah,
and I'll just rant about it. I'll just rant all day.
Shut up, Bronson. Michigan Off-Road Custom says, no wheeler left behind unless you're a D-bag. But he also says, we know the throttle on toggle type. So, yes.
But honestly, even if you're a D-bag, it's our responsibility to get you out. And it's the D-bags that have really made it to where we have to think about it.
Yeah.
And I've been there. You know, I'm like, I can wheel with that guy. And I broke, and then they've had to pull me out. I'm like, wow. I just spent 8 hours.
I've been a responsible Cherokee driver pulling up to an obstacle, and then my steering was just like, oh, we're straight, not anymore. I didn't even do anything. It was just, you know, stock Cherokee steering, you know. I wasn't even sending it yet.
Yeah.
Stuff happens. But I was undergunned at that time, okay?
Yeah.
I was a D-bag.
Yeah.
Jess is a D-bag.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll get in trouble later. She's awesome.
Keith says hi from Indiana. What's up, buddy?
Colby never hangs out in our lives, and she is here, and she's hanging out.
Our live feed, not our...
Blooper.
My drink's getting late.
Have another beer, babe. This is great.
Stupid.
But she's here. It's awesome. Interesting fact, Colby is thinking about launching her own YouTube channel. And she's thinking about doing RC cars. And she's thinking about, since she's always on the trail picking up trash and hanging out with all the rock crawlers, that if she could have her RC crawlers and do the big boy rock crawler lines in RC, she thinks that would do pretty good. So if you guys have any feedback, please let her know. She can use any inspiration or any motivation she can. She's super pumped about it, and she's just working out the details, and we're helping her with it. And I can't wait to have her out there. And I do it in the 1-to-1, and she gets to do it in the 1/10 scale. It's gonna be pretty sweet. So
Yeah.
Pretty stoked. So yeah, we just gotta get that all squared away. What do you have to say about it?
Well, I'm glad because it's like really similar to what you guys do.
Yeah.
And some people that watch like this channel are RC crawlers, but they think what we do is cool, and then I'm gonna be doing it in mini version though.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be cool too. So I'm really happy.
well, I think she's got like a 1-up on the game. She likes RC cars, and she's learned so much from the 1-to-1. She knows more than most adult rock crawlers I know.
Do they love it? We'll be like on the trail and we'll get like stuck on a rock and we're like, Colby, what are we hung up on? She's like, your link. You're stuck on your link. Just back up.
You didn't see that rock? It's obvious.
And I'm like, what? 10-year-old? No.
Back up, rear steer passenger, rear dig, you're dumb. She's rowdy. If you've ever wheeled Colby, ask Cody. Cody from Washington knows that
Oh,
He was my friend though.
Colby's a bit of
Crap talker
she's,
Colby.
Yeah, she's a crap talker dirtbag. She's rad. She runs with the big boys.
He's my best friend though.
yes, everybody is saying 100. Go for it.
Did you see all the hearts? I've never seen that. That's cool.
They did the 100, so they pressed this. So
Oh,
it goes
cool.
100.
Oh, that's
100.
cool.
See? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, they said go for it. That'd be awesome. Do it. Colorado Adventure Club says, bro, if you guys need any RC stuff, I have the hookup. I also 3D. I'm guessing 3D. It just says 3. 3 print. Oh no, I lost it.
3D print, yeah.
I lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, 3 prints done. Tons of stuff, even bodies. Can you make one that looks like our
Dude, we have
buggy?
an
please.
actual rear steer, and if you could 3D print some skins
Dude.
of our buggy, that'd be sick.
I would love that.
You said hit us up. How do we do that? Let me know.
Instagram us. Instagram us. Who's that?
Definitely.
That is
Dang,
Keith.
Keith Crum. Thank you.
Thank
you guys,
Keith.
anytime, it's like the toughest. I'm super unaccepting because we love to wheel, and we're doing this anyway. It's just been super weird adventure bringing you guys along with us.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
and it makes sense to me because I used to watch YouTube when I couldn't wheel. Like on a Sunday or any day that I couldn't wheel, I watch YouTube for wheeling, and I just
Monday when you get back from wheeling.
Dude, the night I get back from wheeling, I want to see what other people did, and
You watched it.
there just wasn't a lot, and that's kind of how I got started. So it's been really crazy. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put some stuff up. Maybe some people will watch it, and like the amount of people that we have watching it is so humbling. And like I said, I don't accept gifts or thanks or much. We're doing this anyway. Like that's my attitude, and I'm very, I don't know, prideful, but I can't thank you guys enough. Anytime you guys do a super chat or, you know, with the merch, if you buy something from us to wear a shirt, like I can't believe you guys support us like that. And
Yeah.
it's literally,
It's humbling.
yeah, I don't even have the words to thank you guys enough. It's crazy.
Super cool. Yeah. So thank
We're
you.
just happy you guys love to hang out with us and
Yeah.
watch our videos and see what we do.
Thanks for hanging around the campfire.
So yeah, hang around the campfire. So anything above that, like honestly, freaking, yeah, howdy, damn it. That's awesome. We appreciate it.
Rob said go for it regarding the RC channel. He said, I think I found your channel because of West Desert Wheeler. Which shout out to West Desert Wheeler. If Colby gets into that, we're for sure gonna have to do a collaboration.
Yeah.
If Logan
I've been wanting to collab with Logan for a while. He
Yeah.
has been such a good supporter of our channel, and like
I know.
like we run into each other, but we're so busy pumping content, and he's killing it on the RC, and we're just trying to make some 1-to-1 stuff, and it's cool. We've mixed and matched Like, we have RC crawlers that come over here and are like, oh my gosh, I learned something from your 1-to-1. I can't believe you guys do that. I'm like, how could you learn? Like, you guys are able to do so many mistakes. And then we have people on his channel, or from our channel, look at RC and is like, dude, do you think you could do this? And I'm like, actually, yeah, you know what I mean? I could do what that RC car did. It's going to take some practice and some cojones, but like, yeah, it's so cool because I never thought that an RC car and a real 1-to-1 could be so similar, and that's probably ignorant to me because I haven't RC'd much, but like, there is so much that is
I just
similar.
love that the RC cars really can be actually built to scale, like, pretty dang close. And I love that they can act so similarly to, like, our 1-to-1 car. That, like, it's cool because we have watched some RC stuff. We watched some of Logan's videos, and what's that other one? It's like Pirate something, another RC channel.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there, we're watching this, and we're like, that's crazy. Cause
I'd hit that. I'm sitting there. I'd hit that. I'd hit that.
Yeah, and it's just really cool because then we're watching them, and you'll see the car like fall off of something, and you're like, oh, if they'd have just like done a rear burn a little bit, they would have had it. And then you're sitting there, and you're like, oh, weird. It's really cool. I love that it can like translate pretty closely, more closely than I had anticipated.
And if you are a full-blown wheeler, like 1-to-1 scale, and you just like haven't, I mean, like me, I was narrow-minded. I'm like, I'm 1-to-1. Like, definitely check out West Desert Wheelers in Colorado. If you have a channel, like, check them out. Like, I know Logan personally, and he actually wheels with a lot of 1-to-1s in San Hollow and stuff, and he's the one that converted. Like, there is some serious, like, relation between the two, and it makes you a better wheeler. Yeah. She got me a axial Capra rear steer, and I've gone through some motions to be a better wheeler through that RC car. I haven't done a lot, but I have done some of that.
Yeah. Pretty sure Colby's gonna hijack that car from Rose.
It's already hijacked.
She gone.
You want to see that car? You're gonna have to follow her channel when it comes out. You want to see it with the wrecked gear skins? You're gonna have to follow Colorado Off Road because he's making them for her.
Colorado Adventure Club.
Colorado Adventure Club.
Yeah, let it. Seriously, we need to.
Yeah, hit us up on Instagram. Just be like, hey, it's Colorado Adventure.
What I saw recently is one of our buddies. He's an Overland channel. It's called Down to Mob. Check that out if you're interested in some Overland stuff. But he's got a Gladiator. It's got like a custom like box camper, basically. Somebody made an identical RC car of his Gladiator with that camper shell. Yeah.
No.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. So I've got an RC car too. It's the
I just want one to put in my garage and be like, yeah.
It's the Gladiator, like 24 scale. I don't remember what it is. I forgot. But they made it out of that, I'm pretty sure. So we need one of our buggy, hands down.
Yeah.
So,
that'd be a good birthday present.
For any of us.
True.
So let us know how to get hold of you, because we need to find out what we gotta do to make that happen.
It's just hit my mind, super cringy, but I'm gonna say it anyway. We get this all the time. We get people say, oh my gosh, you should have more views than you actually do. If you guys can, if you love our channel, tell your friends, tell them to sub, tell them to watch. If you like it and they seem like they like wheeling, they're probably gonna like it. It's like the most cringiest thing to ask people to subscribe or hit the like button or diddle this, diddle that, spend money mama don't know about. But like, sadly, it is such, it really is a big navigation in YouTube. I don't care about analytics. I'm not going to play the game to try to be something that we're not, but that's the best way to keep us real, is to try to support us that way.
I agree.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a cringy break. Back on to cool stuff. Do we have anything else?
Back to you, Colby.
Dun dun dun.
Show them the business.
Business.
She doesn't do that very often, but she runs around the house. Anytime something's serious or needs to get done, she goes.
Business.
I don't know what this means, but I guess it's business.
It's business now. That's what it means.
What he said, I watched the guys that try to set the speed records with RC up around 250 miles per hour.
What the?
How does that? How do they stay?
How did it not float?
Yeah.
I think it would want to fly like an airplane at that point. I did see something on Instagram where someone jumped an RC car. It was like
onto the light poles.
no, there's a new one that I saw today. Like they jumped this ramp and it looked like it was fast forwarded, but it shot so far up in the air that I was like, what in the world? How did they even do that? Anyway, RC stuff. I don't understand. That's going to be her job to understand that. You're going to have to figure it out. Because Daddy Brown Brown's a Neanderthal. We 1-to-1.
Corey Elmendorf said build Colby a half-scale crawler that she can drive and make it look like the Blue Buggy. Dude, we've looked into some of those kids crawlers, and they're, I'd say, give or take 12 to 15 grand, which...
Again, we work 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And literally,
But
I would say 50% of my paycheck and hers goes to these wheeling trips, to lost GoPros, to lost drones, to fuel,
Crashed
the broken
GoPro.
parts. Like, we live in a very modest house, like bottom of the line.
Yeah.
And we literally, the only things we have is a very nice truck to pull, the race trailer, the crawler, the race trailer, and then her JT. And then our house is just very, I bought it when I was 21, super cheap. And I haven't moved because it's what helps me go out and adventure. But it's all off paycheck.
Yeah, we pretty
like,
much put everything in the office.
yeah, we don't. What did we have last night, or the night before for dinner? Freaking hamburger help. We eat a lot of hamburger helper in this household, okay?
I made it though.
She did.
She's pretty good.
It was awesome. Anyways, she's also getting too big to fit in one of those.
She's as tall, almost as tall as Jess.
Yeah, so Colby is 4
She's
foot
not even
10.
11 yet.
She's 4'10", about to turn 11. So I don't even think she could fit in one right now, but it would be for like maybe a year.
Probably get her a seat to drive mine. She drives mine quite often. She's allowed to drive it in flat. I won't let her drive it on a trail because she has to hold the A-pillar so that way she can hit the manual brakes. She has to like hold herself to get enough pressure to stop it. She'll pull it off the trailer and she'll go drive around and have a lot of fun, but I don't want her on a trail yet until we can get her secured and she can really use the controls and everything. But
Pro tip: never have your hand outside of the cage, or else if you roll over, you will hurt your hand and maybe injure it.
so she's a big fan of Sea Boys. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. They're a bunch of yahoos in Minnesota that do a bunch of crazy stuff. Younger generation stuff, which is cool. I like them
They're
too.
like early 20s.
Yeah, I like them too. They're really good, but they were dry. They made an off-road sidekick, which is that Polaris 3-wheel with the rear tire.
Oh,
And
I
they
want
had
one
rolled
so
it,
bad.
And the passenger had their hand on the side, and luckily
Oh.
his hand had fallen off when they rolled. And that was the first thing she said. She's like, "What is he doing? Holding the cage? What a loser!" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's my daughter. What's up?"
Wait, what were they driving?
One of those, those Polaris sidekicks. They look like.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one. What's that little truck one that we were just watching?
Yeah, it's just used like or
Those things are so cool.
whatever. Yeah, some
It
sort
was a
of
new one.
Chinese truck, but.
You know
Anyway,
what
she knows that pro tip's legit. Like, always be safe. And honestly, I've been caught slipping. It's just a natural reaction, and it's a humbling reminder. There's been a couple times I'm like, whoa, and then bring it back, and people are like, can't even believe you did that. I'm like, honestly, it's a natural reaction. You just got to remind yourself every second you're in
Sketchy.
something.
He said true blue collar off-roading family. Love it.
Dude, we get asked all the time, like, oh, must be nice, man. You're YouTubing, must be nice to do this full time. I'm like, dude, we are so broke. Like,
Well, can't talk. I'm at work.
like if I didn't YouTube, I'd be freaking stunning. Because we spend, well, not YouTube. I guess if I didn't wheel in YouTube, we'd be stunning. But You know, it's the whole YouTube and rear steer buggy life is so expensive. I once blew my rear gears and it cost me $4,000. We'll put it that way. And I knew,
Expensive.
and we were friends with the owner of Gearworks. It's just how it goes. It's not cheap,
And tires are very expensive too.
and you can't even get them. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Guy says my neighbor's son lost some fingers rolling his side by side on the street.
That's why you don't have your hand outside of the.
If you guys don't know, anyone who doesn't know this, if you're in a passenger, if you're driving, you just hang onto the wheel and death grip it. Ammo Dog's the best death gripper I've ever met. He rolled once and he pulled all the spokes. He pulled 2 of the 3 spokes off the steering wheel to keep when he rolled. But if you're a passenger, the best thing to do is you grab one each of the harnesses and you hold here. And the reason why you do that is because when you roll, gravity is weird on the rotation. It wants to flail your arms, and if your arm goes out, that's when it could be crushed between a bar. So if you hold here, it's the tightest, and then your arms won't come out, and everything's good. So if you ever feel uncomfortable in a vehicle, you just grab your harnesses.
As a passenger, don't do that if you're driving.
No, definitely not.
I mean, if you're already sent over and you have enough time to do this, you can and it'd be safe, but just hang on to the steering wheel. As a passenger, you want to do this and hold on. You know, after our highlight rollover reel, like, we wheel with good people who know how to wheel, and honestly, we had 58 pretty gnarly rollovers, no injuries, because people knew what they're doing. But as a passenger, driver, hold the steering wheel, passenger, hold the belts, and you hang on, and never, it's an instinct, you're like, oh, I'm going this way. It's like when you trip, you put your arms out. Well, when you roll, you're going to want to do that, but you have to train yourself. Like, anytime that's not even serious and you're getting tippy, just, you need to go, okay, this is what I do. And prepare. And even though if you're not going to go over, just do that to remind, because if you ever did, it's never worth losing an arm. I'd rather not have a buggy than be armless. And I know, I've almost lost an arm before. That's no bueno.
So you can see it. Corey says tires. You like BFG crawlers or TSL swampers?
Bro, honest, dude. So we are partnered with BFG, and it was the life of me to get partnered with them, and there's a reason, because BFG is literally the best ever. But there's pros and cons to everything. When I say best ever, there's pros and cons and wins and losses. And you guys get me on tires. Like, I am so unbiased on tires. I'm sponsored through BFG, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how I feel. Like, TSLs are bomb proof, man. You can literally get those, never put air in them, and go wheel, because the sidewalls are like this thick. Like, 12 pounds in a BFG. Use 0 in a TSL. TSL's compound is okay. It's will you make it? Yeah. Will you have to struggle? Oh yeah. To make it up stuff, BFG, it has enough traction. The sidewall, the way it's designed, and it'll flex to grab, and it has the compound is unreal. It makes you look like you're driving better, and that's been. I video edit all the time. I have friends on TSLs, I have friends on BFGs, and I spin less tire, and I hook up and get up over stuff that are in the same comparable buggy than me. And if you look at any of the greats, like, I mean, Cody, any greats that are in technical rear steer crawling, Cody Wagner, I guess Jesse Haynes is the only person I know that's not on BFG that does technical crawling.
Yeah, he's on what, Maxxis?
He's on Maxxis. And Maxxis are great too, but Maxxis only does 17-inch, which is crazy because in a rear steer, if you're sitting straight up and all that weight is on your rear tires, if you turn, in your bead folds, if you're running adequate pressure to get the most traction, your bead will fold, which will get you super unstable and want to flop you. So Maxxis would be a great contender if they did a 20-inch wheel. That's why we run 20s, not to be bling, because it gives you less sidewall, so there's more control in using a rear steer. So there's a lot of gains, but BFG really has the best compound to acquire the best. Now, when it comes to sidewall, BFG ain't gonna want me to say this, but sidewalls they're finicky, and I always say BFGs are an experienced wheeler tire. Like it is. I don't know, like let's say gaming. You know, if like I hear people talk about gaming, I don't game much, but like there's those. A newbie has the super slow setting controllers, and then a pro has super sensitive controllers. Well, BFGs are super sensitive. You're going to perform the best, and a pro is going to do the best on BFGs. But if you just got in a wheelie and you're going to freaking stab it into a sharp rock and you're not going to pay attention to that, you may blow a BFG sidewall. And your tire pressures, you have to monitor. Most people that have a sidewall issue is because BFGs, they have so much flex in the sidewall, which create traction, that if you hit a super sharp rock and you didn't check your PSE pressure, or PSE, that's crazy, your PSI pressures, it'll actually, that rock will push through and there's so much flex in the sidewall and it pinches the side of your rim and that you get a pinch. It's not because they blow out because of a rock, it's always because of a pinch. And most of the time, I'd say 98% of the time, it's because of people don't check their tire pressures. But if you're wheeling at a high level,
a little bit of a reckless driver too.
Yeah, if you're wheeling at a high level, then you should be doing these things like checking your pressures, or you should be able to see like, oh, that looks like my tire looks like it's off 2 pounds. I can tell you if my tire's off 1 pound, and it's good. So TSLs are the best bomb proof. Like you're gonna go out there, best bomb proof, pretty good compound. I hate their lugs. You have to trim them, like, you know, they have those big mud whomper lugs. And if you do get TSLs and you want something that's strong and performance is like, well, that's second place where you're at and durability is top, like you're gonna want to cut that third lug on all your sidewalls, because that big mud lug it just throws you off lines on very technical stuff. And there's a way to make TSLs better, but BFG they've been the same tire for so long. They've been the most winningest tire. It's the tire that I want to be on because of that. And it was the last tire I ever ran. I've ran every other tire. That was the last tire I ever ran.
Yeah, we ran Goodyear MTRs on our team.
I ran every tire, and that was the bet. It's literally, I don't want to get away from BFG. They're great. So there's my tire stuff. No bias. TSLs are sick. Maxxis is the perfect middle ground. Great traction. Pretty strong, like better compound than TSL. Strong like TSL. Crappy rim sizing. And not as performing as a BFG. It's the middle ground. TSL's bomb proof. BFG is not bomb proof, but if you're wheeling at a level that you should have BFGs, they will literally put you over the edge. They will make you do the obstacles no one else can do. That's my tire advice. And Nittos are also middle ground. Sorry.
We've got some other questions here, Mr. Rant.
Dude, tires are serious. It's so hard not to be biased. I'm trying to give them the best information.
I just like harassing you on your ranting.
Dude, like, tires are finicky. All tires suck. They're gonna let you down eventually. It's a wearing item. But there's a lot of science behind tires.
Sorry.
Tell me the next one.
Because
Let's
of
go.
me.
Have you seen the narrow tire versus wide tire debate?
I haven't, man. 14.5 is the way to go. That's the only thing I've ever ran.
I've not heard this either.
Anyone who wheels that's worth a wheel runs 14.5s. And
Except for on my Jeep, it's 12.5 because I don't need that.
we're talking straight buggies, like buggy technical 14.5 is just what everyone ran. Now, have I tested this? Absolutely not. I have not. If you want me to, I can. I'm gonna have a lot of people want me to do it because it's gonna be a lot of work. But my rule of thumb, which is crazy, is go with what's worked. And if narrow tires work better, wouldn't Cody Wagner, Lauren Healy, Nick Nelson, Forrest Wang, dude, that dude's only on 14.5s. Like every best wheeler, I freaking, what's the dude that doesn't like me that's super gangster? Kyleman, Justin Kyleman. Dude is like one of my biggest idols. He doesn't like me. I think it's because I'm fat. But that dude runs 14.5s. Like, you look at the best, they run 14.5s. Like, even Goat Built and Jesse Haynes runs 14. Dude, all the best runs them. Don't tell me they have not done the best to outbeat the other guy. And they all run 14.5s. I'm going to say there's a good consensus that if all the best people run 14.5s, that's what we should be on.
I haven't heard about that debate, but I am curious to hear the other side as to why people are...
The only thing that I could think of is the same thing as a 17-inch wheel. The more narrow you get, the more side flop you're going to get. And the more unpredictable, the more it'll toss you on obstacles.
Well, yeah, I mean, it defeats the purpose of airing down. If you want more contact, you're already limiting yourself.
Yeah, and honestly, the bigger footprint you get, the more you're going to get. So if you had a super narrow 42, it'd be like the same as like a 13.5 35. So you want more contact patch for more traction to get you up more stuff. And this is not based on science. This is just based on experience and what the best do. And
he says that there's some interesting findings on it. So I'm super curious to hear more about that.
So in their... Yeah, just could you imagine a crack having like super narrow tires?
Well, I want to know how narrow. Like, how narrow are we talking?
Yeah, send us some links on IG. Dude, Brett Gear, IG.
Curious.
Send us some links. I'd love to look into it. I've never even thought of this.
I haven't thought about it.
I just go like, dude, all the best run that. It's probably a pretty good idea that I want to wheel as hard as I can, so I do what they do.
I'm just super curious. How do you feel about adding fluid to front tires?
Okay, so if you have adequate parts in the front to hold all that extra weight, dude, why wouldn't you? All it's doing is applying more pressure and causing more contact patch to pull you over. Rear, it's kind of a negative effect. You don't need it to go down stuff. You can outrun going down, and if you go up stuff, you're pulling it over. But in the front, yes. Dude, I run middle of hubs on both tires. Anything over, it's tough on. You can feel it like in my rig that it doesn't add a bunch more traction, but it adds more stress. So middle of hubs has been my sweet spot. Anybody's rig's different. If you don't have the parts to deal with it though, you're just gonna break a ton. So if you have the right parts, chrome walleye 35s, and you're running okay amount of tires, or 40 spline like me, and you run center of hubs, dude, it's gonna push you further. Absolutely run it. But if you don't have the parts, don't think that's the right thing to do, because you're just gonna break everything.
Super interesting. So Colorado Adventure Club said the narrow tire flexed more at the same PSI that the wider tire needed to air down twice as much to get the same footprint.
So you see a lot of us, we search just ahead, and again, it's so crazy.
Dude, I'm so interested.
It's so crazy because you do RC, and RC is so relatable, so this is pretty wild.
Yeah.
But like, to me, like, we do a lot of cracks, and we search for traction by wedging, and having that tire lets you wedge with having a lot of meat under there. If I had a narrower tire wedge, I feel like I'd just be getting into my wheel, which would get a little slickery and a little messed up. But again, that's just me thinking about it on the spot. But yeah, send us some links, because, dude, if I gotta run some,
8.Tinker's Adventure on YouTube.
If I gotta run some 8.5s to get the advantage to beat some of these other guys, like, I'm in, dude.
Just throw some bicycle tires on me.
Dude, some Willys 42.
Dude, those are sweet.
Dude, we'll run it. I ain't scared.
Yeah, I think we should wrap it up here, though.
Yeah.
So we wanted to cover merch. We wanted to cover why there is some
pizza cutters.
Yeah, pizza cutters. we wanted to talk about merch. We wanted to talk about the trail hush. I hope it didn't seem like a lot of people had questions. I hope that I answered that a lot.
No, everybody was pretty much like.
Because that was, we get asked that so many times, and people get irritated. I don't tell them, and it's like, you know, in Arizona we have such a strong code to protect our trails, and it's only for the greater good of wheeling. So we covered that. Again, I'm gonna say thank you a million times, like the merch stuff, the people who went ahead of time, the people who are waiting for our stock to come back in. Thank you guys in advance. Like, you guys are amazing. I think there was another thing that I wanted to talk about, but I forgot. We can save it for the next one.
Yeah.
If you got any questions, send them in now, and we'll try to get to them
Yeah,
before we cut out.
This is the point where, like, dude, if you want to hear what we say, I know I had a guy hit me up on the comments asking, I guess I said something on where to get tires right now.
Oh, takeoffs. I don't remember.
Oh, in the
Race
comments they were
takeoffs.
asking about where to get the race tires. I must have missed the takeoffs. Dude, so race takeoffs, if you just look on Facebook or Facebook, a lot
I
of
think
guys,
that's what we were talking about.
a lot of guys are pushing. If that guy's watching, a lot of guys are racing, like they'll sell them on Facebook and stuff like that. And you know,
so if you like Ultra 4, follow some of those guys, because they'll post up their takeoffs periodically.
Yeah, and wheels and stuff like that. You know, they usually have some rock rash, but for what we're doing,
You're gonna get it anyway.
whatever, dude. So those are good.
Yeah.
What else we got
Colorado Adventure Club. We run 3D printed foams now for sidewalls to be adjustable, as well as tire flex. The narrow tires are doing a lot better. So after seeing that, it was interesting to see.
Dude, if we could have some 3D printed foam in my tires, I would much rather that than air. So maybe in that scenario it would work, but that would be super sick. I feel like you could really manipulate and fine tune how a tire reacts off of foam versus.
Rob said it was from Tinker's Adventure on YouTube, so we gotta check that
We'll
out.
be watching that. That's pretty good.
Randy says, thanks for the campfire top. Keep stoking that fire.
We try to get on here, and if you guys like it, we'll keep doing it. We get good feedback, so we try to jump on here. And again, we're real as anyone who's ever met us is like, oh wow, you're just like you are in the videos. Like, yeah, it's because this is.
I think I'm a little bit goofier than I am on videos. Sometimes I don't know what to say. I'm just like, that was nuts.
We're usually more excited to meet you than you are to meet us, which has been
Yeah.
funny. Like, a lot of people tell us that. They're like, you're not like every other YouTuber we've met. We're like, well, it's because we're wheelers that make content. Hey, you know what I mean? Like we get a lot of people like, man, you do super gnarly stuff. Yes, I like to, but it scares the poop out of me. They're like, what? Really? I'm like, yes, there's no hiding the fact that I love to scare the poop out
I
of
saw
myself.
somebody that is like an off-road influencer, and they're like, "God, I've never been scared on a trail." I'm like, I think
Better
I'm scared
step
on
it up,
every
son.
trail.
Like, if I'm not scared going into it, it's probably not worth going. Like, I go for the chase of like, oh, why am I here?
That comment threw me off. I'm like, man, I'm like nervous on everything we do, pretty much.
And I try not to, I mean, influencers just seems cringe to us, which is weird, but we just try to be off-road family. Like, you're our family. Like, that's it. We're going to give you the same family advice we give family.
Yeah.
Like, we're not
Yeah, no, I would agree with
We're
that.
not trying to tell you, like, this is what you need to do. We don't, I work 9 to 5, and I'll work 9 to 5 the rest of my life and still make videos to tell you guys what I really feel. Like, I don't need someone being like, you need to say this. Like, you need to go away. I like to wheel. Knock it off. Like, we do what we want to do. We're not influencers, we're your family, and I hope you guys feel the same.
So Nick Barnes has a good question. It says, how badass was it to get back out on the trail with your dad? Was awesome to see that. Looking forward to more content like that too. So, my dad is the reason why I like off-road in the first place. So, to be able to get out there with him was awesome, and I've been waiting for it. We've taken him out in the TJ, we've taken him out Cherokee, JK, Gladiator, we've done all of the things. But he hasn't had a rig that whole time. The last time he had a rig, we were in the Arizona Classic Bronco Club. He had a couple Classic Broncos, and we went to, I think the last thing I did with him was the Classic Bronco Roundup or whatever they hold in Rock Springs in Arizona here. It's kind of down the hill from us, but it's been a long time, and it was really cool. He just got that stock, like, base model Bronco. He initially was gonna get, like, you know, everything done up and stuff, but he got impatient wanted something now. So it was so cool to be out there and just see him enjoying what the gift he gave me of off-road. So it was really cool, and I look forward to more trips like that too, so I'm pretty stoked. Colby's stoked too, because Opa is awesome.
He's the best.
By the way, his name's Jim. I don't think we ever said that. His name's Jim.
No, it's not. It's Jess's dad.
Jess's dad
It's
or
Opa.
Jim.
It's
Jess's
Opa.
dad.
Or Opa.
And I love Papa too, don't worry.
Bree said, yeah, I really enjoyed that video too. I think we all have those ties with our family member or friend who took us out there. It was my dad that got me out enjoying the nature of beauty. Yeah, nature of beauty is how you said it. I like that. Yeah, it's super cool. You know, for Bronson, it was his Gramps, and you know that it's just the gift that keeps on giving. You know, if you have that passion, like I always say, it's the one thing I never will get tired of is off-road. You know, it's the only thing that my passion just keeps growing. So
I've tried. It's funny. I've tried to get out because there's been times where I haven't had people to wheel with.
yeah, Bronson owned what was it, a Rhino or something?
Dude,
before
I
side by side?
I have done jet boats, rhinos, crotch rockets, Harleys. Like, every time I wanted to wheel, like I couldn't find my good group, and then I'd be like, well, I'm gonna try something else when I was younger, and like every time I got something, I'd be like, I'd dive back into wheeling because it's the only thing that literally anytime, like tomorrow, I feel like it's Christmas freaking Eve because I'm gonna go wheeling tomorrow. Like I'm probably not gonna sleep tonight. And it's not even the gnarliest trails. It's just, I'm so excited. Like, I'd rather go wheeling than Christmas every time.
Yeah.
It's messed up. Poor Colby.
Michigan Off-Road Custom says, yeah, sounds like my story. Grandparents had and still have Jeeps. Dad runs out YJ buggy most of the time. Sick. It's a great time and memories out on the trail with the ones that introduced us to the off-road world.
Dude, your family sounds rad.
Bronson's grandparents still have Jeeps too. Like, so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
My dad, the only Jeep I knew him having was a stock YJ, and that was awesome. Like, growing up with that. You know?
My mom's weird. She doesn't get rock crawling. She thinks it's dumb. She got an FJ. Makes sense, right?
It's probably the coolest FJ.
It is a pretty sick FJ, but like, she's like, oh, off-roading, look at this. She's like, your buggy won't go anywhere this goes. I'm like, oh, not all my family understands.
Corey said, would be awesome to hook up camp, do potluck dinner, kick it around the fire, and drink some adult beverages. Hopefully
Where
we
are
can do
you
that
at,
one day.
dude?
Let's
Let's go.
Let's make it happen.
Like that's the funniest thing ever too. Is like when you see us, like we're literally stoked to see it. Like we want to hang out with you guys. Like hands down. Ask anyone who's met us. Ask Ammo Dog. Ask. We're the weirdest. I don't know. Like there's always all these silly titles, social media influencers, this that. Like we're not. We're wheelers. Like we meet you.
We
We like
influence anything other than you should wheel more.
Yes. Yes, always wheel more. That's the only thing I know.
Holy crap. Sorry, Nick just said my dad just turned 81 last week and he still wheels his 99 TJ.
We love TJ. Oh, soft spots with TJs. Dude,
I love
happy
your
birthday
dad.
to your dad. Let him know Rhett Gear says happy birthday.
Yeah.
That is crazy, man.
That's cool.
I'm super, and you know, you're going to tell me that your dad probably wheels with you. I'm super jealous. Like, I wish I had more. My family, my gramps got me into it because of Hunter, and I took the left dive, and I just wanted to go up crazy shit. And Like, I wish that I had more family like Jess and stuff that like to wheel. Cause
I took a left dive too.
Your dad like loved to wheel.
I mean, he got a little bit more than
he liked to
Gramps
wheel
did, but-
like my family had to have off-roaders. They live in Colorado and they hunt. But like me to tell them, like they do some crazy ditches, but like if I was like, we're gonna go up this huge rock pile for no reason, they're like, you're an idiot.
That's how you get started.
They're like, wow, you can have a very nice car for that buggy. That's crazy. And you're gonna go beat it up? I'm like, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am. She's getting spanked. They don't understand.
All right, I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah, I
I'm
think we're
hungry.
pretty much good. Yeah, okay.
I
Well,
hope
guys,
you guys get to wheel together again soon, Nick.
yeah, good story. I just want to tell you guys, thank you for everything.
Shirts are shipping soon.
Shirts are shipping soon.
Thanks for
Bags are
listening.
coming out. We're gonna have, we're gonna take care of the people who pre-ordered first, and then we're gonna have inventory coming up. They're gonna get theirs first. Then we're gonna have it live. We'll let you know on our Instagram.
Tag us on your orders when you get them. Send us pictures.
Yeah, if you guys got the
Yeah.
freaking Willy Wonka off-road tickets,
Nick, yours is coming pretty quick.
yeah.
I've got yours pretty much. I'm pretty sure it's the only order I've packed.
I just connected who
Taking it
Nick was.
home.
I know Nick off Instagram. Dude, always follow you. Very
Yeah,
cool.
Nick Barnes. He's.
Yeah,
We're friends on
I don't
Facebook.
know why I didn't think it's a lot when you're just looking at some tag on YouTube because they don't put it together. But Nick, thank you for everything. You're always hooking us up and supporting us. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
But again, I want to thank everyone who watches our stuff. I want to thank everyone that's on this live. I want to thank everyone who's thinking about or wants merch or whatever. We literally live our dream and have like more reason to because of you guys.
Yeah.
Like, we get to go do what we want. We get to relive our memories and have footage of that for this little turkey when she turns 18. She has no excuse to say she had a bad life. And then we have people who enjoy our stuff, and that's just the craziest thing. Like, I can't believe you guys enjoy watching what we do.
That's not.
And thank you.
Yeah. Thank
And
you.
that being said, cheers for having a beer with Red Gears, and we'll catch you next time.
Here we go. Cheers, real quick.
Colby's always got cheers.
Oh, you gotta do the thing too. The howdy. Give him a howdy.
I didn't give you guys a howdy, howdy, let's get rowdy. Howdy, howdy, let's get rowdy. We're out of here, so now we're getting pouty.
Cheers.
Howdy.
Thanks,
Thank you, guys.
Now we're gonna awkwardly turn this off.
Never know how to do it.